Hello everybody, I'm back. After an overwhelming response to the first video I did, I thought I'd do another one. So back to orders and patterns. So one of the things I forgot to mention in my first video was I mentioned that the beginning of the biblical New Year was this past Sunday. Well, the reason I can confidently state that is it says that Passover took place on the 14th day of the first month. And it talks a lot about those feasts. And Passover's coming up in a few weeks, and there's a lot of patterns, regarding these first few feasts. But before we get to those feasts, I wanted to talk a little bit about even some patterns before that were established. Have you ever wondered why God put seasons and times into our life? Why are there seasons? Why are there months? Why are there weeks? And why are we not on like day 735,213, for example? And why does it revolve in a circle instead of just going in a line from that? And before I finish that thought, there's a passage in Scripture out of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 44 and 46. I'm going to paraphrase it to you. But basically it says this. It says that the natural is a pattern for the spiritual. In other words, let me give you an example. You might know somebody when you see them far off, you can see that they stand, or the way they walk is just like one of their parents. For example, I got my son. My son, the way he holds himself and carries himself sometimes, I can see my wife's father in him just amazingly. And it's even more amazing because he's never really been around him where he's old enough to make it a learned process. This is something that is just in him. And when you think about that, when you think about the natural is a pattern for the spiritual, and that we are patterned after God. That's really, really amazing when you think about that. Just think about that for a second. We are patterned after God. But I could go in more in depth than that maybe in a future video. But I want to go back to the seasons a little bit about. So one of the very first patterns that God's established in His Word is that God created in 6 days and He rested the seventh day. He created 6 days and rested the seventh day. He created 6 days and then He rested the seventh day. That's a pattern that's there. And when we look at that pattern of a week and what that means to us, there's a lot of things that we can take from that. And obviously, we can go on and talk about the Sabbath, which we'll do here probably in the next video. But regarding the pattern, Psalm 104:19 states that He made the moon for the seasons. The sun knows the place of its setting. Did you know that the Gregorian calendar, the one that the Western world follows, it's actually based after the sun, where the earth rotates around the sun, and when it makes one full rotation, that's a year. Well, the biblical calendar, it actually is patterned after the moon. When a moon makes one full circle around the earth, it is a month in the biblical calendar from that. And I think that's really, really place a very interesting thought. And one of the men that I listen to, he says this: we need to become spiritual scientists and bring our curiosity into what the Word actually says and why. Why has God patterned and created this pattern? Why is that pattern out there? And I would encourage you to put in your comments as to why you think there's these patterns from that. On my next episode, or my next video, I'm probably going to go more in depth into this and talk about this the week and the Sabbath and what is the Sabbath. And I hope you'll join me then. But here's one hint of what I'll probably be talking a little bit about. Go to Mark chapter 2, verse 27. That's a hint for the Sabbath, and really what the Sabbath is here for, and that process of the pattern that God brought into existence for us here on the earth. Until next time, God bless you.